This episode is brought to you by PetSmart. Imagine life without your pet. Unthinkable, right? That's why taking care of their well-being is job number one. And PetSmart has everything you need to do anything for your pet. PetSmart's expertise in nutrition, training, veterinary care, and more can help you take care of your pet's well-being the same way your pet takes care of yours. Care the way pets do. Shop now at PetSmart.com.
This episode is brought to you by California Almonds. Almonds are a great addition to any wellness routine. They're the perfect on-the-go snack, and only a handful of almonds is all you need to get the benefits. Like 50% of your recommended daily value of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect and keep your skin healthy. So no matter what wellness looks like to you, yoga, massages, listening to your favorite podcast, almonds are easy to bring along. Eat almonds. Live well. Repeat.
This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 2666, The Spiral of Successful Habits by Babauta of Zen Habits.net. And I'm Justin Malik. This is the show where I usually read to you kind of like an audiobook, but on Sundays, I think it's nice to share an episode from another podcast where we read to you. And today's comes from my brother's show, Optimal Health Daily. By the way, he answers listener questions every Friday. And if you send in a relevant question, and if you're in the US, I'll personally mail you a physical copy of our 216-page hardcover Optimal Living Daily workbook. You can send a health-related question to health@oldpodcast.com and then listen to that show on Fridays. Again, that's the show Optimal Health Daily, and you can send a question to health@oldpodcast.com. But with that, let's get right to the bonus episode as we optimize your life.
The Spiral of Successful Habits by Babauta of ZenHabits.net. Many people have so many things they want to change about their lives, they don't know where to start. It's overwhelming. You might smoke and eat junk food and need to exercise and want to be more productive and eliminate debt and start doing work you love and simplify your life to find time for your family and find things to be passionate about. So where do you start? It's doable. This is where I was a few years ago. One by one, I changed my habits. I quit smoking. I started running. Eventually, I did a few marathons. I started eating healthier. I now eat a whole food vegan diet. I started eliminating my debt and saving money. I'm now debt-free. I started simplifying my life. I found work I love doing. And I started waking earlier and becoming more productive. And the list goes on. I'm not trying to brag, but to show it's possible. I did all of this with 6 kids and 3 jobs, with tons of help from my wife Ava, of course. Many of you might be in a desperate place like I was. A reader named Craig recently wrote, quote, "The last 5 to 7 years have just been complete for me, mentally, physically, and financially. Prior to then, I was a confident young man who was able to do anything that he put his mind to. I'm not sure exactly how everything just seemed to go downhill for me, but now I have all but lost my self-confidence. I suffer from stress and anxiety. I am probably about 30 to 40 pounds overweight. I'm a pack-a-day smoker, and to be honest, I can't stand to look at myself in the mirror these days." End quote. He then continued, quote, "Every morning I wake up with butterflies in my stomach because it's almost like I'm afraid to even face the day. I often sleep too late, and I just all around feel like in the morning. I've tried all kinds of different things to try to fix this issue, but nothing has worked. I just wish I could start my day off on a better note." End quote. He then asked the key question, quote, "How are you able to kickstart your life and begin your journey to a better, more productive life? How are you able to get up in the morning, jump out of bed, and start your day on a positive note?" End quote. Back in 2005, I was in a bad place in my life with so many changes I needed to make that it was utterly overwhelming and discouraging. Then I made one of the smartest decisions of my life, aside from marrying Ava. I chose just one habit. The other habits would come later. Starting with just one habit accomplished 4 important things. 1, it became much more manageable. One habit is doable. 15 habits are too hard. 2, it gave me focus. I could pour all of my energies into one thing. When you have too many habits you're trying to change, it diffuses your energies and you most often fail. 3, it taught me how to change habits, and then I could apply that knowledge to the next habit change. And 4, it allowed me to succeed and then use that energy and enthusiasm to succeed at the next thing. Now, every single one of these is incredibly important. I won't get into much depth for the first 3 things because I feel they're self-evident, but the last one is so important, it deserves a little discussion. Which habit to choose? I started by quitting smoking because it seemed the most urgent to me. Looking back, it was also the hardest habit to quit. I might recommend an easier habit to get started with. But the truth is, it doesn't matter much. If you have 15 habits you want to change and they all seem important, then just pick one randomly. Here's the thing. In the long scheme, it doesn't matter a lick which one you started with. 5 years from now, you're going to look back on all the habits you've changed, and the order in which you started won't make a difference. Right now, it seems to matter, but you're not in this for just this month. You're in this for life. So pick one, any one. I'd suggest an easy one. The important thing isn't that you choose the right habit, but that you start. Spiral of success. Picking one habit allows you to succeed and build on that success. That's more important than you might think if you haven't done that before. I read a book by Bill Gates in the 90s where he talked about his spiral of success. He built MS-DOS, and that succeeded, so he leveraged that success for MS Word, and then Windows 95, and then Excel, and then Office, and then Internet Explorer, and so on. Now, this concept is true not only in business, but in anything you do. Your success with one habit will make you feel great. You'll be so excited by that, you'll want to try another. If you focus on just one habit, you'll succeed at that too, and you can then build on that, and so on. Soon, you'll be rocking the world and people will ask you how you did it. You don't have to mention my name, but you should mention Bill Gates' name. Credit where it's due. You just listened to the post titled, The Spiral of Successful Habits by Leo Babauta of ZenHabits.net.
This episode is brought to you by California Almonds. Almonds are a great addition to any wellness routine. They're the perfect on-the-go snack, and only a handful of almonds is all you need to get the benefits. Like 50% of your recommended daily value of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect and keep your skin healthy. So no matter what wellness looks like to you, yoga, massages, listening to your favorite podcast, almonds are easy to bring along. Eat almonds. Live well. Repeat.
Dr. Neil here for my commentary. I've been listening to a book called Good Habits, Bad Habits, The Science of Making Positive Changes That Stick by Dr. Wendy Wood. In it, Dr. Wood emphasizes the importance of simplifying habits and what she describes as reducing friction. Now, Leo talked about how you should focus on just one habit at a time, and that's a great way to simplify. And based on what I'm reading, Dr. Wendy Wood would agree with Leo's approach. She would also say, let's try and reduce friction. So, let's say you decide you want to floss your teeth regularly, that's the new habit you want to start with. To reduce friction, Dr. Wood would recommend you make flossing your teeth as easy as possible. For example, be sure that you have dental floss in the house. Then, instead of hiding it in a drawer or in the medicine cabinet, place it in plain sight on the countertop in your bathroom next to your toothbrush as a constant reminder. By removing that one extra step of having to search for the dental floss, you create less friction. In other words, you remove a barrier. It's exactly like when I recommend you place your vegetables in plain sight in your refrigerator instead of tucked away way down at the bottom in the crisper drawer where you can never see them. Or like when I talk about placing a bowl of fruit in a high traffic area in your home, like your kitchen countertop, to remind you to grab a piece when you walk by. And here's the thing. The genius behind this idea is you can use it to make some of your not so great habits go away. In these cases, add friction. Make them more difficult to do. For example, say that leftover Easter chocolate has been calling your name. Make it inconvenient to grab a piece of that leftover candy by removing it from the countertop and putting it in the back of the pantry, all tucked away where you can't see it. Want to cut back on your Netflix binging during these days of quarantine? Then move the TV remote from the top of the coffee table and just put it in the coffee table drawer. And instead, Place a book that you've always wanted to read where the TV remote used to be on the coffee table, and then watch the magic happen. All right, that'll do it from me for today. Thank you as always for listening, and I'll be back here tomorrow as usual, so I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.